In this video, we're going to be going over how you can improve your funnel to give you better performance from your Facebook ads. Then in Facebook ads, there's really two sides of the equation. There's your ads, how can you get people to stop the scroll and click? And then there's the other half of things, which is the destination that you're sending them to or the goal that you want them to actually complete. So in some cases, in a lot of cases, you're sending them off of Facebook or Instagram or YouTube to a landing page. Some cases you'll maybe do like an on Facebook lead form, which are good, or you'll do DMs, which are good as well. But a lot of people are using landing pages. I use landing pages a lot for myself and my partners. So I want to show you some of the really simple ways that you can analyze and look at your funnel and give you clues on how you can actually optimize and improve your performance. If you can improve your funnel, you'll drop your cost per lead, probably drop your cost per acquisition as well to actually acquire a customer. And you'll actually see better people coming through if you really focus on optimizing your funnel. Yes, there are lots of optimizations on ads, which we've spoken a lot about those on this channel. But there's also a ton of different things you can be doing to your funnel. So I want to go back to our funnel diagnostic cheat sheet and go through some of the different things that you can improve or that you should be looking at on your funnel. The first one is actually going to be your opt-in rate. How can you get a higher opt-in rate and why is it so important? Well, the opt-in rate is really important because it really just dictates the lead flow that you're going to be getting in the first place. And a lot of the name of the game in advertising, marketing, and business just comes down to volume. If you could get more people in for a cheaper cost, you know that you're going to beat the competition and you'll probably have a good month in sales as well. So how can we boost this opt-in rate? Because when you do, you'll drop those metrics that are important and you'll boost the metrics that are important as well. Let's talk about how you can improve that opt-in rate and what's a good one and what's a bad one as well. So usually I like the opt-in rate, depending on the offer, to be anywhere like 20% or higher. That's like a really solid opt-in rate. If you got a page that's at 20% or higher, you know you're doing pretty good. If it's at like 15%, in between that 15 to 20, that's not bad either. It really depends on the offer. But once you start getting below 10%, or even below 15%, like anything from like 10 to 14% opt-in rate, you definitely want to look at improving it because there are lots of ways that you can boost your opt-in rate. So let's look at this example here really quickly, and I can show you guys kind of what everything looks like. All right, on this page, you can see here from May 5th to June 5th, so just about the past month of data here. And let's actually filter this just from May 1st to June 5th. So more than a month of data. We're sitting at a 20% opt-in rate overall across the board. So that's pretty good. That means we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. We're pushing a lot of traffic here. We're spending around $1 to $2 grand per week, closer to $2 grand per week, nearly 2.5 in some weeks. So we're doing really well at getting people to this page, right? The opt-in rate is huge. It's good, but there's definitely room for improvement. I know we could definitely get this a lot higher. And there are some days, I'm sure, that over past week, it's even higher. So like here this past week, past couple of days at least, it was at 21%. Like one of the last weeks of March or May, it was there. 15% was a lot lower, and I know we made some changes, and I'll show you what we did to get it from 15, 16 to 20% plus overall, because beginning of May, we were sub 20%, and now we're baseline 20%. So I'll show you some of the things that we changed in just a minute. But the other thing to make sure that you understand that's important is to figure out what's your cost per lead. Getting 435 people to the page, so you're spending at $2 grand a week. You can figure out that cost per opt-in, but 20% is a really good spot. Let's go and see how to improve this. And I want to explain this bit too. This is a VSL funnel. So people come to this page, they opt in here, and then on the next page, they actually book a call. So getting a call booking rate of like 17% is really, really good. Like that's really solid as well. The changes that I'll share, you can make sure to use them on both parts of your landing page. They will improve both opt-in rates or booking rates across the board. Let's get into it. All right, so for the confidentiality of my partner, I don't want to share his exact page, but I want to show exactly how it's set up for you. And you can take these details and use them in your landing page. So how I would recommend and how I have most of our partners' landing pages set up is kind of something like this. There's usually a headline, a subheadline. There's then like a little bit of details right underneath it. Then there's the actual opt-in itself. So it's either a button that they click and the pop-up shows up, or it's just the actual form right there embedded into the page. There's a value stack. I'll get into that in a minute. There's then a little bit more copy, some testimonials, and a risk reversal. There are actually only a couple of spots that really pull the needle on this thing, or move the needle on this thing, and the rest of them are important, but they don't move the needle as much. The couple of things are, first off, your headline. The headline is one of the biggest things that you can tweak to improve the performance of your landing page and get a higher opt-in rate. Headline is one of the first things that I would recommend testing. The next thing is really looking at the details, and really anything around the opt-in as well. So that can be like the button, that can be like the pop-up, anything around or on that opt-in, or even if it's like a form and there's a headline above where they opt in, having those details panned out is really important. And so that brings me to my first point. I pulled these things from one of my partners' pages, and let's talk about this bit right here, which I think is actually something that people will ignore, but it's really important. If you want to boost the opt-in rate on your landing pages, a really simple change you can make is look at the button people have to click to either submit the page or open the pop-up to opt in the first place. Learn the 6 simple steps is this one. I think that we can improve it quite a bit by just adding a subheadline or adding the word click here. I've done lots of things like changing the color, adding a subheadline, adding just another piece of copy or a piece of text to the button itself, changing the way it looks a little bit, making it rounder instead of like the sharp lined like rectangle. All those small things can actually have a really big impact on your opt-in rate. So look at that first. Look at your button and anything around or inside of the button and see how you can change it to improve your opt-in percentage. The next thing is anything around the form itself. So there's this headline right here. It's not the primary headline of the page, but it's the headline of the form. Get the demo on how to buy your first or next cash flowing rental property. What I love to do is take this and do something called copy logic. I learned this from one of my mentors, and it's a great way to improve any piece of copy on your landing page. Now, this is going to be applied to both the headline, the details here, as well as usually the subheadline is pretty important to improve as well. There's 3 things that I would look at to improve first on your lander. I would go in the order of headline, anything in and around the opt-in, and the subheadline last. Because the headline and subheadline are so closely related, usually if you change the headline, changing the subheadline won't necessarily help a ton more, but it definitely can. Just depends how your page is built out. So copy logic, here's exactly how this thing works. What you're going to do is you're going to take the piece of copy. So get the demo on how, and you ideally want to do this with more than just yourself. I'm going to try to do it by myself, or at least show how you could do it. But you really want to do it with like a team of people. So if you have your partner or your client, maybe you have someone on your team, feel free to include them on this. If you have a client or a partner, I'm sure they'll love doing this with you. It'll show that you're going above and beyond. And I love to do it too because it's fun. So copy logic. The idea is to take that headline, subheadline, whatever you want to improve on your page, and try to make it better. So the first things first is you read it out loud. Everyone will go around and rate it on a scale of 1 to 5. 1 is this sucks, this is the worst thing ever. 5 is this is the best piece of copy ever written. I will hand you my money right now, no questions asked. So that's kind of the scale. So get the demo on how to buy your first or next cash flowing rental property. Let's just say I'd rate it a 3, right? Everyone would rate it, you'd add up the score, and that would be the total score that it got. Then what you'll go ahead and do is everyone will try to come up with an improvement for this thing. So instead of get the demo on how to buy your first or next cash flowing rental property, what if we changed it to, what if we just changed it to learn the 6 steps on how to, and so on and so forth, right? How to buy your first or next cash flowing rental property. So that's my change. You would say your change, and then everyone would go around and vote on it. Hey, what is that rated out of 1 to 5? Everyone would rate it. Let's say I rated it at 4, 4.5. You'd add up all the numbers. If it is better than what it is said initially, then you'll change it, and that'll be that. Another way to do it is by just saying better, worse, or neutral. So if there's more betters, you're going to change it. If there's more neutrals, if there's more worse, you're not going to change it at all. So that's the objective as well. So you'll say, hey, learn the 6 steps on how to buy your first or next cash flowing rental property. You can either rate it through numbers, or what you can just say is better, neutral, or worse. Everyone goes around, you say it, and it's a really great and easy way to improve your copy on your page. So these are a couple of ways to improve your landing page performance. This goes for really any parts of the lander. Ideally, any parts of the lander where they're not buying something. I'll probably do another video where if you're actually trying to get them to purchase something, what to change. These things can absolutely be applied to it. Like if it's an e-com store, the button and anything around the button, I would make it as easy, flawless, and anything to remove risk as much as possible and value stack in and around the button, right? But for something like an opt-in page, you don't have to do as much of that because it's not as much of an ask to getting them to buy something versus getting them to just give you your information for a piece of value anyway. So let me know if that makes sense. If you guys have any questions, drop them in the comments. I'll be sure to do another video, maybe detailing this for different brands or different companies. But this is one really easy way to improve your landing page. Make sure that you get good opt-ins at a better cost and just better ideal customers as well. Because if you write the copy to speak to the customer in the best way possible, you'll get a better kind of person through. That's all for this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Like, comment, subscribe below if you enjoyed this. And thanks for all the support in some of the previous videos. I'll see you guys in the next one.